Hey everyone, welcome to the Turnbuckle Taverns in the news. And this is it is in the news. This is a recap of our weekend since we were there in person for the All Out weekend. Man, what a weekend. I feel almost hungover, to be honest with you.
I was just telling Chad, my back is killing me. Like, I feel like
Boney
I'm fucking
Khan.
50,
Boney
man. Yeah.
Khan in the house.
What's up, Boney Khan?
Tyson.
You got Jaden
Got some Jaden in here.
Yep, Jaden. Jaden's my cousin. He's a big wrestling fan. He's a WWE, AEW big fan.
Awesome.
He's in a good spot, man.
Yeah.
Hopefully he jumps in the comments and sticks around for some other videos in the future.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a firsthand encounter of the weekend, but it's in the news because we got to witness all the stuff that the internet is exploding about. So, and we had two different vantage points. We got Phoenix Enix in the house.
Enix in the house.
Love it.
Yeah, what a weekend. I mean,
yeah,
I guess we could start. Do we start? Because we did the Dynamite discourse, so I guess we shouldn't cover Dynamite. I guess we should start Friday, right?
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, we can kind of almost we can start there. We traveled up on Friday. We left here early in the morning. Hey, Fabulous, what's going on?
Fabulous is in.
Boys.
Yeah, traveled up that day.
Our trip was wild too. The trip up was kind of wild.
It was filled. Thank God for Google Maps.
Yeah.
Thank God, because we wouldn't have made it for Rampage.
No, we would have been lost because we're driving through Indiana. And all of a sudden, like, traffic starts backing up. And I'm like, okay, it's traffic, to be expected. And then all of a sudden we see the police have the interstate completely shut down. Like, they're routing people off.
They're rerouting traffic, but they're not telling us where to go. Like, they're just getting off the interstate. And it's like, man, if you don't have GPS, you're screwed.
Yeah, we're in the middle of cornfields. Like, so Sneed pulls up the GPS. And we're literally zigzagging through gravel roads, through cornfields on either side of us. Can't see anything.
And we pass this road, and all you see is just dust in the air. And Chad says, "Is that the road we're supposed to go down?" And I was like, "Yeah,
yeah."
What it's saying.
Crazy.
But yeah,
Indiana's always a good time.
I mean, I could look at the map. I mean, it was right. We were riding right beside the interstate, just through cornfields.
Yeah, you could see the interstate still. Like, at first, it was just empty for miles and miles, and then you saw traffic start. You know, it was backed up with traffic. So, yeah, it was definitely the field of nightmares, John. Like, I was expecting ghosts of 1920s baseball teams to come out, but they're not happy to see us. They're with, Malachi from Children of the Corn.
If you build our
heads,
if you build it, they will wrestle.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was a trip. And then, once you pass Gary, Indiana, that's when the Chicago traffic. We're rolling into town right at rush hour on a Friday.
Not gonna lie, there was a moment where I think all three of us in the vehicle, Phoenix Enix included, was
little guy. What up, little guy?
We were all pretty mad because the toll road or booth, whatever, was completely backed up. Nobody's going through. There's some guy standing on the outside of his big rig arguing with somebody
for like 30 minutes.
Oh, it was awful.
We're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, like, come on, man. It was, and we got into another lane. Then, of course, the lane that we get in isn't moving, but the lane we left starts moving.
Yeah.
So I have to shift back over. So it was just like, it was one of those things when we finally made it to Chicago. We go to our hotels real quick to drop stuff off. We're so pumped. get to Now Arena, meet Mike in the flesh for the first time.
Yep.
And then the festivities began.
Yeah.
They had some dark tapings. I think the darks that were just shown yesterday and today was what they were recording. Had an awesome segment with Max Caster returning, who got a major pop. He came out with the written rap promo, which was hilarious.
It was awesome.
I was just watching that before we hopped on. Like, they posted it up on Twitter. I was like, oh, hell yeah. Check it out, man.
So good. I love that they're building the Dark Order dissension. You know, they had the Allen Angels Evil Uno match that was really good. The whole time they're having that match, people are chanting, kiss and make up. Please don't fight.
Hug it out.
Hug it out. All the chants were great. Like, no one wants the Dark Order to not get along.
Right.
Yeah. It was over, you know. Everybody was feeling it emotionally.
And then Rampage, you know, they bring out Chris Jericho for commentary. He gets his big, you know, pop from the crowd. At this point, we don't know if this is one of his last entrances we're going to see. Is he going to permanently move to commentary? And they kicked the show off with Malachi Black, which was awesome.
What an entrance to see live, man.
Absolutely. I got lucky enough. I went to the Fan Fest before you guys got in the town. And I was just kind of wiggling through, and a buddy of mine won a 10th row ticket down on the floor. And I was like, oh, upgrade, sweet. You know, that's cool, man. And then he hit me up like probably a half hour before we left to go to the arena. And he was just like, hey, man, you want this ticket? He's like, you meet me in line? I was like, absolutely, man. I was like, that sounds good. And I was like right up against the stage. So like seeing that, all the production happening right in front of me, that was super badass.
Well, dude, me and Cassie watched Being the Elite last night, and we saw you behind the Sour Boy fathead.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, I was like, there's Mike on Being the Elite.
One of many appearances, right?
Yeah.
That was fun, man.
Yeah, that was I watched BTE. What an episode of BTE, man.
So good.
Crazy. Just so much stuff happened this weekend.
Yeah, they open up with the seance right off the jump. Which was hilarious.
That was cool.
But yeah, it was Rampage was fun. It was fun. It was a fun kickoff to the weekend.
Yeah. I love the Rampage shows. It's short and sweet, you know, it's not like crazy.
And we'll go back just a hair on our way up. I'm in the group chat that we have, and I get pictures of Don Callis getting out of his vehicle. And I was like, from Mike, and then I get a picture of Mike with Ric Flair.
Woo!
So Mike, I mean, your hotel was the hotel to be at. Your hotel was the destination spot for any fan.
I'll backtrack a little bit to that too. I booked like 3 separate hotels because everything was booked up over there. So I had like one night at the Hyatt in Hoffman Estates. I had one night over where they did the convention at, you know, and I was like, okay, cool. Like I could piggyback off these two and figure something else out when I get out there. And they all canceled on me on Wednesday night. So I was like, shit, I got to really do this. And the wife went on and she found that there was this Marriott that's right over there. So I was like, sweet, I'll be at walking distance, hopefully, to the arena, which it didn't seem like it was going to be a fun walk if I had to walk, but I was like, all right, cool. And I was, you know, we dropped the kids off at school and I was like, you want to give me a ride to Fan Fest and the hotel so I could check in? And she's like, yeah. And we got there and I walked in and it was, you know, I had my Dark Order Brody Lee tribute shirt, and first person I seen when I walked into the doors was Preston Vance, and he was like looking down at me, and I was like, oh shit, you know. So I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, a few of them are staying here, and I went up to my room and dropped my shit off real fast, and then I ran to Fan Fest because I had a meet and greet with who the hell did I meet the first night? No, it was in Jungle Boys. I forget. I met John Silver in Cole Cabana.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
The whole weekend's a blur at this point now because of everything that happened. I get in line to meet them. I see my buddy win the ticket. I got back. I was like, all right, I'm good. I'm going to leave now because there wasn't that much to do at FanFest, especially on Friday. So I was like, all right, cool. And, I was texting you guys. I was waiting to meet up with you. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to head to the show. I'll call an Uber in a few. I'm going to go down and get a drink at the bar. I met all these cool people down there that were just like, yeah, we're here for wrestling. I was like, yeah, me too. It was cool. There's this dude there that looks like Daniel Bryan. And every time he kept getting up from the bar, I was like, yes. Like, he was laughing his ass off. We were all just like mingling and talking. And they're like, hey, we're going to drive out. You want to ride? I was like, yeah, I'll hop in with you guys. It's like, fuck it, why not? Like, the arena's like 2 feet that way. What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
So 5 of us pile into the car, and I'm getting out, and like this kid's like, hey, I'm Cal. Gives me a handshake, like Calvin and Hobbs. I was like, yeah, that's cool, man. He'll play an important part in a minute, but yeah. I was just hanging out at the show, man. I got these upgraded seats. I was right up against the barricade, like just really having a good damn time. Just partying, watching Rampage.
Yeah.
What were you thinking, Mike, when you were at the hotel and you're seeing all these guys staying there?
It was at first I didn't know what the hell was going on, because after I got back from FanFest, I run in the Flair, and I was like, holy shit, Ric Flair's here. And I think the only people I seen at that point was Jim Ross. Don Callis was there. I knew he was there. He took the little photo real quick, and I was just like, oh, maybe there's a few people staying here. I didn't want to be too marky. I was just like, all right, cool. But I walked right up to Ric Flair and I was like, sir, pleasure to meet you. Thank you for everything you've done for wrestling. It was like, I've been one of your biggest fans since I was born. I was like, my dad used to love you. Like, just a nice casual handshake, walked away. And then Ric Flair, he's still Ric Flair, man. He's walking up to the hotel, staff, all the girls. He's like, you want a picture with the Nature Boy? He's doing woo. Like, they're all eating it up. And I see a few girls take a selfie with them. So I was like, when am I going to get this opportunity again? So I was like, I'm going to walk. I walked right up to him. I was like, can I take a picture with you, man? He's like, absolutely. He's like, but you're killing the buzz with the ladies, man. He's like, take it easy, And I was like, all right, cool. I was like, it'll be quick. So I snapped the 4 horsemen. That was awesome on its own. And then like everybody disappeared. So I was like, oh, cool. So like I was sitting at the bar. It was empty. It was for like 5 of us. They were all just chilling, and like it was just it was a good time. Then I was like, oh, it's Rampage time to get the fuck out of here. Like let's roll, man.
So the big thing on Rampage, the big angle they shot was pretty much the Dustin Rhodes Malachi thing for Dynamite, and then they had the big bit with Darby and CM Punk.
Yeah.
And Punk comes down to the ringside. They have the face-to-face. Crowd obviously still hot for Punk. That's not dying anytime soon.
No.
Yeah.
Then after the show, we're like, what are we going to do? We actually had tickets to GCW. We had tickets to 3 Cup Stuffed, GCW, and we're like, do we want to go there? Or do we want to go drink at the bar and meet a bunch of people and mingle with the wrestlers? So we go back to Mike's. We were at a Marriott also. Well, I was, and Sneed and Hawk were slumming it up at the.
We slummed it at the Hampton.
Slummed it at the Hampton.
Yeah.
But Mike was at the one where AEW was staying. So we go to that bar. As soon as we walk in, Flair's walking from the bar, and he kind of meets eyes with all of us because the bar was pretty empty, and he's walking from the bar, and he kind of meets all of our eyes, and he's like,
good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, gentlemen. And we all kind of gave him, nods, and we go in and sit. And the first thing I notice is Christian Cage and Frankie Kazarian was at the bar. As soon as they spot us coming in, they've got their bucket with a bottle of wine in it. They instantly, I could just see the telepathic thing going on between the two of them. They're like fucking marks, and they get up and go to a booth.
Here we go.
You could see it on Christian's face. Like he was just like, God damn it. And
he even let out, when he stood up, he even let out a,
Yeah.
Hell, like here,
A sigh of disdain, you know.
Yeah.
So we get some drinks, we get a table, we're just kind of sitting there chilling, and then who starts rolling in? Who are the first faces to really start rolling in?
I know for sure. Jungle Boy popped up. He was, walking around. We had who all was there? We had John Silver,
Abaddon
Ricky
was there at the bar
Abaddon.
a lot of the night.
Evil Uno without
Evil-
the mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was basically the whole roster minus like Punk and the bigger names.
No Punk, no Bucks, no Kenny,
yeah.
but
Malachi was there.
Malachi was there.
Marco Stunt came down for a little bit. It was just basically everybody.
Ryan Nemeth was there. Ryan Nemeth, Gun Club.
Gun Club for sure. Yeah, I forgot about them.
Pillman Jr.
Anna was there.
Ricky Starks.
Will Hobbs. Yeah.
Sean Spears. Wardlow. The Busted Open crew. Busted Open Radio was there hanging out.
Miro was walking around. Yeah.
So I mean, we just sit there and hung out.
Like,
we go outside. Me, Mike, and Cassie go outside, and we get a text from Sneed that's like, "You guys need to get back in here." We go inside, and Tony Khan's sitting at the bar, chatting up Ric Flair.
Yeah, I'm sitting there. I'm by myself at the table at this point. I'm sitting there, Coke in hand, and here comes Matt. I see Matt Hardy first. So Matt Hardy walks in, and then I look, and there's somebody in a camo jacket. And I looked, and I was like, oh, that's Tony Khan. Like, that's Tony Khan's here. So Matt Hardy goes and starts talking to the boys, but TK sits down right next to Ric Flair, and he's just holding court with Ric Flair at the bar.
Yeah.
Insane to watch.
So we're sitting there. Mike is like, I got to go up to him. And this isn't a thinned out. Like when we got there, the bar was empty. Now the bar is fucking packed.
Everybody
was there. When we get there, it was only Flair. Flair was the only person.
It was only Flair. And then at this point, the whole place is packed. There's nowhere to stand around the bar. Ric Flair and Tony Khan have been sitting there for probably 15, 20 minutes talking.
Yeah. Intimately talking too.
It wasn't one-on-one.
Just
Everyone else is kind of standing off. It's just them two kind of holding court. And then Mike, take it away.
Yeah, no, I learned when I was working in the business, you don't really have too many times where it's like, this is now or never. This was one of those, now or never moments. So I was like, fuck it. I was like, I'm going to go walk up to him. And I think you guys were like, you're crazy. And I just walked up, said, hey, I just want to say hi. And Tony looks up and he's like, hi. And I was like, I'm Mike. He's like, I'm Tony. I was like, oh shit, like this is really happening. So I'm like, listen, man, I was like, I just wanted to, I don't want to make it a long story. I don't want to make it weird or anything like that. I just want to say, I lost my brother and my dad in 2016. I was like, my love for wrestling kind of went with them. I was like, but this really brought it back to the table for me, full blown. And I love what you're doing with everything. I respect the shit out of everything that you've been doing. And as a fan, a lifelong fan of pro wrestling, just thank you for what you've done. And like Tony was like all over the place, but he was just like, he put two and two together and kind of got the whole thing. He's like, I'm so sorry about your family. He's like, I appreciate your kind words. Yeah, man. And then Ric Flair puts his fist up with the Hall of Fame ring on. He's like, he's a good kid, man. And it's like, sorry about your pops. He's a damn legend, though. He's like, you're standing right here. It was just like, awesome. What the fuck, man? And then, I didn't want to impose. I wasn't trying to interrupt their conversation. I just wanted to be short and sweet, send them my regards, my love, and be like, thanks, man. Like, I really, really do appreciate it. Especially, like, that was Friday. Look at the weekend we had after that. Like,
right.
My
what
words
a way to kick it off, man.
Super true, yeah.
And when Tony left, he left with Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus.
Very quick too.
And he grabbed his bag. He had a bag. He had a laptop bag, and he left with them, which makes sense now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Now,
we'll get back. Yeah, we'll get to that.
good puzzle piece, and I like that.
Yeah, you could see there was things happening because when he left, it wasn't like it was like on a mission. Him and he grabbed Jungle Boy and they were out.
Yeah.
Went upstairs or where some suite or something to talk business. But like you said over the weekend, Sneed, what to say we got to drink with Ric Flair at a bar, that is like bucket list wrestling fan shit.
Yeah.
It's insane. Like we sat in a bar with Ric Flair and watched him hold court, man.
Yeah. What do you think? 10 feet away from us? Right there. 5 to 10 feet away. Like literally when we got there, a drunk fan who was about to leave offered Mike a fireball and yelled out Rick, like, Rick, you want one? And Rick was like
K-Fade, brother.
Don't stop that shit. Just what an epic way to kick the weekend off.
Yeah.
And that was still early in the night too. I mean, we hung out for a couple extra hours after, so, and it just got crazier and crazier.
Yeah. So we're drinking, we're hanging out, having a good time. We're outside. I think we're smoking and about to leave. Like the night's winding down. It's probably 2:30 in the morning. And all of a sudden a car pulls up and Bunny and Penelope Ford and Kip Sabian all get out of the car because everybody at this point is coming back that wasn't there, that had went out for drinks. So they're all coming back. They're getting out of this, black Uber,
like
one of those
van almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I see Sneed and Cassie are like, oh, that's Jericho. And we turn around and there's Chris Jericho.
Yeah, so I guess there's Jericho.
They were all coming back from the Fozzy show.
Yeah.
And
it
we
was
go
Bunny's
inside.
Birthday.
Yeah.
So
it was Bunny's birthday. The Fozzy
Yeah.
show was like, what, 30 minutes away, Mike, in Joliet?
Yeah, not even. It was probably like 25. It was really close. So he did Rampage and had time to get back to do the Fozzy show. So that worked out.
Yeah. So like, got to rub elbows with Jericho on his way through the lobby.
That was a blast too, because he walked at me and he's like, "Where's the fucking bar?" And he walked over to the bar. He's like, "Oh, these fucking kids closed it out. God damn it!" And like, and he turned around. And he's like, "You got Grey Goose in your hotel room?" And I was like, "Fuck! I wish I had some Grey Goose in my hotel room." Yeah. Like, we weren't even trying to bother him, but then Sneed got fucking,
he was on
Captain
a mission.
Ballsy, man. It was good. I liked that.
I had to, man. Like that was it. Like he was rolling out, and he was getting away quick.
Yeah.
And
Kip is not selling his injury. Oh yeah, there's the pick.
Yeah. Look at him.
So there, yeah. Had to get one, man.
Had to get one, man.
And Jericho couldn't have been nicer. He was like, "Hell yeah, guys!"
Super cool.
Make it quick.
Super cool guy.
He was just wanting to get to his room, but he was super nice,
humble, very humble. Kip's still selling his injuries. No, Kip isn't selling his injuries. He has a new gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was at FanFest
and was in gimmick. He was in gimmick when he got out of the van.
Yeah, no.
he has a burgundy suit on, which if you go to his social media, you can see the pictures of it. He's wearing a burgundy suit and he has a box with eye holes cut out. It says overrated. I don't know what the gimmick is yet, but I'm intrigued by it. It looks fun.
Very much, man.
Yeah. So then, the next morning we all disperse. The night ends on meeting Jericho. What better way?
Yeah.
Next morning, we all disperse. Mike goes to FanFest. I go to FanFest. Steve meets us later at FanFest. That day I met FTR and Santana and Ortiz.
Hell yeah.
Great dudes. Super cool. FanFest was a little underwhelming. Yeah.
Just a tad.
I thought they would improve upon the things that we thought were lacking at FanFest in Jacksonville for Double or Nothing. Yeah. But honestly, this one was a little lighter than even that one. So I was honestly surprised.
Yeah, for $60 to get in general admission. I mean, they did have some cool free meet and greets that you could do with it.
Yeah.
They had a couple of stage shows, but I mean, for the most part, there was nothing interactive to do besides the, standing in line for the meet and greets.
They had a couple cool new, because they always have like artifacts that you can see that's been on the show.
Right.
A lot of the same stuff that was at Double or Nothing. They did have a cool new artifact.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
The Darby coffin from the Ethan Page Darby coffin match was there. That was really cool. The throne was there this time.
With the sledgehammer.
So it was, I mean, it's fun just being around wrestling fans and meeting wrestlers. That's fun, but I think this is something that they're going to continue to improve upon.
No, it was cool. I did the meet and greet with Darby, and then I did FTR with you guys, and I used to work with Cash when he in his local Chicago days when he was driving up from the Carolines, and like it was cool. He was so nice. It was good to see him again. Darby was super fucking cool. I was the last person in line. He's like, "You're the last man standing, bro." And he did this little thing like that. And I was like, "This is cool, man." It was worth it, but it was nothing to linger around. Sam, you missed the Tony Khan story, man. That's what he came in there for.
Who was the best person that you guys met?
That's a good question. I mean, nicest was probably be Britt. Britt was a sweetheart when I met her. We haven't gotten there yet, but she was definitely good. And again, FTR, both awesome dudes.
Santana and Ortiz was very, very cool. They
looked like they were awesome dudes, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, those definitely. I mean, there were some other moments going on Saturday night too that got a lot of hand and crazy. So but I think definitely, I'll definitely go with Britt and FTR and Tony Khan. How can I not say? Tony Khan wasn't cool.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
So, me and Cassie go into the city. Big thank you to your mom. Awesome hookup.
Oh yeah, no, she was a doll, man.
we did like a cruise on the Chicago River. Got to see like the skyline, which I think is. I mean, Chicago city skyline blows every city. We lived in New York. We saw that skyline every day, and I think Chicago skyline has it beat. The fireworks were incredible.
Impressive ass compliment, man.
Yeah, I mean, me and Sneed literally lived where we every day we caught the bus. It was an incredible. We saw that New York skyline, and the Chicago skyline, especially at night. So for anyone here who ever goes to Chicago and you want to do something cool, do the boat tour.
It's
do it at night.
We'll plug them real quick. It's the Wendella boat cruise, architectural boat cruise.
I imagine it's cool in the day too. Do it at night, man. It's mind blowing at night.
Yeah. The pictures you took were phenomenal, dude. Like I was like, I haven't even seen shit like that, like from my own place for people that are here.
Yeah, Wendella Sunset Cruise, very, very great. But while we were there, you guys you had an experience, and I think it's time. Let me scroll up and find this. I gotta find a comment real quick because there was a comment earlier. Let me see here if I can find it. Here was the comment we had. Hawk equals ratings. So I figured if we get that, we got to bring in the Hawkster.
There he is.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Am I muted? Can you hear me?
We can hear you. You're loud and clear, Violet.
I'm a basement dweller again, so my connection is weak. I am now. I decided to after that event. I'm like, it's time.
Yeah. So explain the situation at Giordano's, Sneed. Like, walk us through this situation.
So Hawk gets there Saturday. Saturday's when he gets there, and as soon as he gets in, he comes to the hotel room. We decide that we Style and Grace. We decide to go find food, and we would go to Giordano's. I mean, it's it's a place you got to go apparently when you go to Chicago. So we go over there. There's probably, what'd they say, 15, 20 minute wait? Hawk?
Yeah.
For the table? Yeah.
15, 20 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. So we go outside. We put our name on the list, whatever. We go sit outside. We're sitting outside talking. Hawk stands up from the table and starts, like, he points over and I hear him, he says, "Hey, man." And I look, and here comes Nick Camarado,
Max
Caster, Bear Bronson, but
the whole Creative Pro crew.
Yeah, the whole Creative Pro crew.
Hold on.
The whole Creative Pro crew, led by MJF. So MJF's walking in. He sees Hawk stand up, and he doesn't miss a beat. He gets a scowl on his face, doesn't look at Hawk, gets a scowl on his face and goes, "No, no, no," and just walks right into the restaurant. And I'm dying laughing. And Hawk says, "Ooh, you're gonna get it Saturday."
Tomorrow. You're gonna get it tomorrow.
You're gonna get it tomorrow, Sunday, tomorrow. And yeah, he didn't stop, didn't miss a beat, he just kept going.
The fact that Hawk got up, like, was going to say something to him, and MJF just totally worked him is the best thing of the weekend.
Like, it was a complete just snub.
What a mark.
Highlight that's the highlight of my AEW fandom so far. That's going to be a hard moment to top. Getting the MJF scowl, him going from like normal, because I saw the transition. I saw him go into character. He's like, he's just going up to get food like a normal person, and then all of a sudden it's like, nope.
When he sees a mark,
I'm MJF again.
No.
And just
to expand on that, after the pay-per-view, we saw him again in the hotel, and the whole time he was in the lobby, he never broke character. He was always acting injured after the pay-per-view, like walking through, like holding his back like this, like, because he knew there was all kinds of wrestling fans there. So he's like, "I'm MJF the whole time. As long as there's wrestling fans here, this is who I am."
The best part about the interaction was that he could have very easily just had an interaction with us, because it was just us two. It was just us, two people, literally no one else around. There was nobody outside, but he kept that character for two people.
Love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it, man.
That's great.
Amazing.
That's a professional, man.
Yeah. You don't have that anymore. Nobody does that anymore.
No, not to that extent. And then there was
the hotel was the game changer.
For sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, they had those autograph marks in the lobby too.
Oh yeah.
And Sunday after the show, like, one of them tried approaching him, and MJF looked at him and goes, "If you step 2 more fucking feet in my direction, I'm gonna knock you out myself." And all the autograph marks like went back to their chairs. Like,
I love it.
It's
fucking
so good.
Championship, man. But it all started with Hawk. Hawk got the first interaction.
That's something I will absolutely never forget, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jericho plays a good heel too. I've heard he does similar things. Like, you can tell even on social media when Jericho's a heel, he's totally working dudes on social media. So, but MJF, man, I don't know if I've ever experienced a guy who commits to his craft. He does it on the level of what you heard the old school guys who were doing it before we were fans.
Yeah.
Like, he really is like honoring that old school, keep the heel thing alive.
Keeping kayfabe alive.
Yeah.
Love it.
I was really hoping that they would have stayed at the restaurant that night too. It was they left. They went. Didn't you say they went next door, Hawk?
Who's that?
MJF and his crew.
The crew.
They went to the or the Weber Grill, however the fuck you say that.
Oh yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
I like Weber better.
Yeah.
They went to the Weber.
So
Weber.
we dive into All Out now. Are we ready?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah,
So-
man.
We get there right as the Miro match is going on because we fucked up, and I was thinking East Coast time. I'm like, oh, it starts at 8, and I'm like, forgot that we're in Central time now. So we didn't miss the entire thing. At least I didn't, because I saw it like taking place on the monitors, and obviously you could look right in there. I saw the finish and everything as we were like waiting to get to our seats, but what a night, man.
Yeah.
What a night.
You can't even, it's so hard to put in the words of how crazy that show was. Like on your seat, the edge, the whole damn show, everything was fucking lightning hot.
Every match was good, man.
Yeah.
Everything. Even the 5-minute buffer match with Paul White was what it was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was what it was. It was 5 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah.
5 minutes long. Paul went in, did the shtick, and won. And that was it. And that was exactly what it should have been.
Yeah. And at that point, too, because that was so late on the card, everybody needed a piss break, a smoke break, a drink refill, so it was the perfect time for it, because all the rest of the shit happened afterwards. It was just
Here's the
magic,
thing, too. Like you can't go from Punk Darby straight to Omega Christian Cage. You can't go straight into that. You have to have a let me up.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And it was perfect. It literally was exactly what it was. Like, it was a match for people to get up, do what they have to do real quick before they, recollect yourselves before the big stuff goes down.
It's just one of those things where you go,
yeah.
All right. Yeah.
And we had a hell of a couple matches before that. Like, we got the Lucha Brothers and the Bucks, which I
Match of the night.
think, I was going to say that fucking stole the whole entire show. Deservingly, it was unbelievable. And then, it
was so the thing I loved about the card, one, it was paced to perfection. There was no fat. It was go match. Like it almost was like somebody was holding a boot on your throat. Like, we are going, we are not.
Yeah.
But the beauty of it is this card had everything. Okay, you have this epic cage match, this epic just car crash spectacle. And then you have this match with MJF and Jericho that there's a career on the line. And you could feel it. You could feel that there was a career on the line.
Yeah.
Then you have Punk returning and the way they paced that match out. And it was like old school. It almost felt like I've seen things online where they were pulling stuff directly out of the Bret Hart 1, 2, 3 Kid match. Like some of those, like the way they were working those headlocks, it was awesome. And then you go from that into Omega Christian, which was a great match. And then that ending. But I mean, that cage match, Hawk, you said it was your favorite match you've seen, right?
That might be one of the greatest wrestling matches I've ever seen. Maybe it was because I was live, so I'm biased, obviously, but I don't know. The energy in the arena was just off the charts.
Yeah.
And that's, I don't know, that's just the sort of match, if you want to introduce people to AEW, being like, here, look at this. If you don't like this, then you're not going to like AEW. Watch this match. If you enjoy this match, give AEW a chance. If you don't enjoy this match, there's really no point in watching.
Right.
Type thing.
Very, very good fucking wording on that, man. It's so true.
Dude, it was like the crowd was on fire from the jump, but that match in particular, there was a moment in that match. It was probably the back third of that match. There was a moment, I can't remember what was going on in the ring, but there was a moment where you hear people doing the claps and all that, but there was a moment where that entire crowd was like stomping and chanting and clapping in unison, where it was like, just all consuming, overwhelming. Like, holy shit, this place is loud. I looked over at Hawk and was like, man, this is loud right now. Like, just the sustained energy throughout this night and those pockets. Like, I heard Eddie's entrance when Eddie came out, dude. That guy had a monster pop. Like the crowd losing it for him, but Punk, obviously huge pop. Loved the way they booked the end of the Jericho.
Oh, it was so good.
MJF's entrance was like, it got everybody ready to roll.
Oh, that was great too.
And the crowd was popping for it. Like they were so excited because they thought it was going to be Jericho coming out. And they're like, whoa, he did this, throwback. And like, what? Because he debuted in the Allstate Arena, right down the road from there. And that's what we got. It was the end of the countdown. So
yeah,
that was really cool to like kind of bring that full circle. Second I seen that though, I was like, it's MJF.
Dude, I looked at Sneed when the countdown happened. Everyone around us was popping because they thought it was Jericho. They were like, "Oh, Jericho's coming out to the countdown." And I'm like, "Dude, this is a career match. Jericho's coming out second." And I was like, "That's MJF."
Oh, for sure.
And then it comes up Jericho's last match, and then the MJF music kicks, and everyone boo. It was just perfectly,
Seeker, man. Loved
perfectly,
it.
Yeah.
No, that was wild. Like the whole show was just immaculate, though. Like there was not one moment where people were like, kind of fuck this, Like it was
that was the first time we've ever had a finish like that in AEW, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where they restarted the match. Yeah, we've never seen that in AEW.
Yeah. Done well, though. Very well.
It made sense because it wasn't a ref coming down from the back to tell Aubrey, hey, I saw this in the back. I love how they brought Wardlow down. Then Jake Hager, they started fighting up the ramp, and the refs came out to run them out. And as the refs were out there, Paul Turner saw that happen, and he was already out there to tell Aubrey, like, no. And the crowd, man, when MJF won, it was so brilliantly booked because by them doing that, it almost made the pop that much bigger when Jericho did win, because you took the wind out of their sails for a second, and then those false finishes when he was rolling up MJF and the 1, 2, I mean, it was so loud.
And I'll say I disagree with Bully's take on that.
Yeah, Bully had a shit take on that.
Yeah,
they would put AEW away.
Yeah,
the kid's on a roll tonight, man.
Yeah, he is.
Good stuff, bud. It's I think Bully just needs content, and that's why he's saying these things. Like, because he brought up that table spot, with that, like, who the hell is Bully Ray to be talking about table spots?
Right.
That was this half of his time in WWE was him getting the pop from the tables. Like,
but all his tables mattered. All of his tables worked within the context of the story. These tables, you didn't need those tables. It's like
he sold merch on the gimmick. Get the table.
If you're nitpicking that those two tables didn't matter, that was one of those things. Like, who gives a shit? I get it. The rule, they are bending the rules. Slightly. You're bringing a foreign object into a match that isn't no DQ.
Yeah.
But okay, then what do you want them to do? DQ the match? Like, I don't know. I just think
we still have like 20 minutes to go. We could DQ that early.
Right.
And it's not like you've never seen any, and this goes back to WCW too. It's not like you've never seen a moment where they're having a match and they do something like that, and the ref's just like, okay, wrap it up. Don't be screwing around out there.
Well, what I like about I forget who I heard say this, but this is so true. WWE treats their refs like all of them know every single rule, and they call every single rule the same way, where AEW treats their referees more like a real sport. In a real sport, in an NFL game, this ref, he calls a lot of penalties. Or this ref, he'll let them play a little bit more. He's not going to call a foul every play. So it's like each ref has their own way of calling You know what I mean? Hawk, you know sports. Like some referees,
You should ask Sneed would know better, right? Sneed, the Saints, they get their games called a little bit differently than the other teams, right?
End zone calls and pass interference calls on the Saints are a lot different than other teams.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's
It's
like certain people are screwed. So it's like I like that. I think it's cool how they do that. How one ref will be like, "Hey, this is a championship match. They're pulling tables out. I'm not going to call this. I'm going to let them go."
Yeah.
It's like fouls in the NBA playoffs. It's like you don't give these ticky tack fouls if it's against like if some C-lister's fouling, sure, call it, but you're not going to give LeBron James like his 6th foul on a ticky tack foul, even if it is by the books a foul. It's like you're not going to give LeBron James his 6th foul in a playoff game on some bullshit ticky tack call.
Call traveling.
And that's how that would be in
slam dunk.
Who dat?
Yeah. And it worked to me storyline wise because who brought the table out? The heel, Kenny.
Yeah.
He brought it out. So
it's a heel move.
So then Kenny. Okay, how's it all go down? Let's talk. We got at least 20, 30 minutes to talk about this.
Yeah. I don't even know where to begin, man.
I'm on a weak connection and it's going to disappear, so I should probably leave you guys to talk about the finale.
Okay, cool, man. Yeah,
so I should probably say goodbye before you guys get into it. So,
Hawk.
Yeah, so I will talk to you guys tomorrow on the pod. I might go to Cincinnati.
Yeah, do it, dude.
So, I'll see you.
Good, man.
Go to Dynamite. You're right there.
Yeah,
I might. Well, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
Later, man.
Take it easy, man.
See ya.
Yeah, he was looking like 1999 broadband internet.
I can almost hear the dial up. I can almost hear it.
You've got mail.
This guy also, Tom had asked earlier, how cold did I keep it in the room? 2 air conditioners, both at 60. Full blast. I told Hawk, because I did, I turned them up to 65 in there, but I did it. I guess I did it, but I don't remember doing it. But I guess I turned it back down because he went and looked at it. He said, "You didn't turn these down to up to 65." I was like, "Yeah, I did." No, they were both at 60.
Our room stayed cold too, man. It was ice cold, like super cold. Hey, man, I was impressed.
It's just how it is. Look, if you're gonna share a room, it's gonna be cold.
Damn right.
J-Bone thought it was Style and Grace vision.
It could have been. It could have been. He definitely had it when he got there. Yeah.
Yeah. Man.
So Kenny Omega wins, goes over. And how did
crowd's lit?
He hit that fucking epic one-winged angel off the top.
Yeah, and that was it.
That was it. Like I like that they let him. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he won clean.
Yeah,
he did. Yeah,
he did.
100%.
So I love that. He. Well, the feud continues. Finally, the ratings are going up after he left. So the match ends. Who comes down? Good Brothers.
Don Callis was out there, but everybody gets in the ring. The Bucks come out shamefully almost because they were like, "Fuck, we lost." And Don's like, "Come on, guys, come hang out. Like, it's okay. It's not your fault. You guys lost. You losers. Get in the ring." And like it was a very like a nice celebratory moment. Crowd was giving them heat. The ring was just built up. And Kenny got on the mic and he goes, "What's next, guys? What's next?" He's like,
Jurassic Express came down to help Christian.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
And they start them out. They
lay
them out, and then he gets on the ring or gets on the mic,
cuts that promo. Doesn't matter if you're best in the world or who the hell you think you are.
He's like, "I don't care if you guys have hometown heroes."
Yeah,
and he's like, he says it doesn't matter. He was like, "Nobody can beat me. They're either not here they're already retired or they're dead, and then the lights go out. And the lead up to that, everyone around me and Sneed are like, Daniel Bryan, hit the final countdown, hit the final count. Everyone's expecting Daniel Bryan. And Sneed looks over at me and Sneed's like, it's going to be Adam Cole. And I was like, you're right, man. It's going to be Adam Cole. So me and Sneed are saying Adam Cole around all these people saying everybody's like,
Bryan,
no.
Daniel Bryan.
We're
Even
like,
in my
it's gonna be Adam
section,
Cole.
when the lights went out, they were all yes.
Oh yeah.
And
So-
it was like the ultimate swerve, man.
Dude,
It was
lights go out, and there's that moment, you know, anytime the lights go out, you're just waiting like for that first sound of music or that first lighting package, and the tunnel lights up for a second, and you see the Controns turn on, and you're like, what's going to be the graphic? And then boom, Adam Cole. Awesome entrance music too.
very awesome.
I've listened. Yeah, I've listened to that thing a couple times. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I know people love the Shock the System song. I like his new song
This
better.
is better.
It's better.
It has great flow. It's got like AEW actually does a really, really awesome job with their music. Like even when it's licensing, when it's not licensed, they do a fantastic job. Like at first, it was a little weird getting into it all and like trying to like get familiarized with everything. But I feel like once they started bringing in more and more, like, you know, they got better and better each time. And like, I feel like the crowd, it's like a concert. Like when Ruby came out, you know, the crowd was.
we didn't even mention Ruby.
We were getting to this was the goal, getting to this point to talk about. We didn't even talk about Ruby Soho coming out and winning.
But like the crowd near the whole section I was in, they're destination. Ruby. Like everybody's there for the moments, man. And I love that shit.
The
Ruby
whole place is singing. And if you listen to the scrum, I guess she kind of befriended Lars from Rancid, and Lars just contacted her and was like, why don't you use my song? And he's just letting her use it.
That's so awesome, man.
That's awesome. Because he's he's buddies with Punk. He's a diehard wrestling fan.
Yeah. So super cool to see, man. Yeah, no, hold on. I was just about to click on that one.
Reminds me of
Cole's
Rage Against the Machine.
Really sounds like Rage Against the Machine. Like I listened to it like twice today. I was like, oh shit, this has got like that bomb track, you know, kind of.
It does.
Oh, I was loving it, man.
Yeah, when he walks out and he stands there, he's got the leather jacket on. He's got the All Elite Bebe shirt on.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
the Nikes.
Everyone is. The place is deafening. Like crowds. Grown men jumping up and down, like it's not just yelling with arms. I mean, people are jumping up and down, losing their minds.
I think I hit a couple of these.
Oh yeah, I was doing that. So he comes down, just gets in the ring. Amazing. He gets on the mic, right?
One of the loudest things that I've heard. That I heard all night was when he got down and did, and and then came up and said, "Adam Cole, baby," and everyone did it.
It was loud,
huge,
huge pop. One of the pops of the night, honestly.
Yeah.
Then he super kicked
Jungle Boy,
and it's
at this point we didn't know where he stood.
No,
he stood.
Kicked him.
And Kenny
gets the mic. And Kenny gets on the mic and does my favorite thing of the night. He's like, Kenny says, in the words of the almighty Steve Urkel, did I do that? Dude, I was howling. I was like, of course he would say something like that. And then he's like, what were you thinking? We're best friends.
Yeah.
He gives Cole the mic, and Cole talks about, you know, the Elite is now going to be unstoppable. No one will be able to defeat them. Kenny gets on the horn, goes to do his good night. Bid you adieu.
I do.
And then Flight of the Valkyries. No lights go out. Just Flight of the Valkyries kicks in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crowd goes
erupts
absolutely shit.
It was crazy, man.
I told Chad, I said, if he joins the Elite, we're getting both.
Yeah.
If he joins with the Elite, we're getting both tonight.
Yep.
So, the crowd was such an eruption, man. Such an eruption. And like I feel like they gave Adam Cole most of their energy. And so like when Brian came back out, they were like, oh shit, we gotta do it again. Like, come on. Like it took them a second to really recuperate and get into it, but like, yeah, and then that was just so badass to see. I don't think we've ever had two reveals in a show before, especially a heel and a face like that. Like such, and not in the same segment at least. You know,
No, I mean,
we've
the
never
only-
had The Rock and Stone Cold and come out, you know, surprisingly back to back.
The only thing I can
ever
remember was during the pandemic when they debuted Brody Lee and Matt Hardy on the same episode of Dynamite.
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah.
you know, there was no fans.
Yeah.
And even if there was fans, I don't think, I mean, all respect to those guys. But Adam Cole and Daniel Bryan, I just feel like with their stature in the business right now and everything swirling around these possible free agent signings, this was like a special situation.
Yeah.
Lightning in a bottle. You know, absolutely.
Man.
And I think it was them waiting. I think they didn't want to wait for one. I think if the pandemic wasn't happening, I think they may have waited for one for Arthur Ashe. But I think with all the uncertainty and now people having to show vaccination cards to get into events in New York,
Yeah.
I feel like they were like, fuck this. Let's just double blast them, double barrel shotgun, give them both same night. And dude, you would think that it would waste the pop, but it did not.
No.
I mean,
No.
Get goosebumps talking about it.
Oh,
man.
I watched it last night. I watched
it
last night, and it gave me chills watching it back.
I've watched it no less than probably 20 times. To be honest.
Yeah.
Both of them. It was so good. Like,
That's
you
just
know,
how it is, man.
and then that
It
promo
blows my
with Brian
mind because I feel like everyone talks about, you know, we love that they only do one pay-per-view every quarter. You know, we get 4 a year. And then you compare it to WWE, we get a pay-per-view a month.
Sometimes two.
Sometimes two,
Yeah.
you know. And I don't think this is just the way they book. I think it's a little bit of the way they book, but also I think the way we only get 4 events a year, it lends itself to be able to give you these iconic, memorable moments at these shows. Because just speaking for me and Sneed, like we've been to 3 AEW pay-per-views. We've been to Dynamites and Rampages and stuff. But as far as just pay-per-views, we were at the first Double or Nothing. We were at the Double or Nothing this past
After
May.
This
And we were at All Out. And I feel like every show I've went to that's AEW, it's been historic. The first event in Vegas, John Moxley comes out. Holy, blew us away. The first live full capacity crowd in Jacksonville. It felt special. We were back, full crowd. It felt historic. And then this show, Chicago, All Out, CM Punk's first match, Adam Cole, Ruby Soho, Daniel Bryan, all debuting. Like, and I think, you know, a little bit of that is just booking, but they couldn't book like that if they had a show every month.
No.
The fact that we get one every 4, you're being able to stockpile these moments that make these pay-per-views feel special, where you really feel like, fuck, man, we got something historic that as wrestling fans will remember the rest of our lives.
Here's the thing, the way they book it, with only having 4 pay-per-views, I cared about every match.
Yeah.
Every match was built up in a way so perfectly that I cared what the blow off was going to be and how each match was going to, even though MJF and Jericho's had 3 matches before, the way it was booked, I still care.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's for sure. Like, it keeps keeps the magic there. You know, you're not burnt out. You're not like, oh man, like this is exhausting. You know, like how can we keep up with this? It really like they build it up so well, and then they fall in, like even that pay-per-view was very on par to the Rampage with Punk coming out. Like the crowd, like the show is that special, and like that was what 2 weeks ago. Yeah. So like they threw so much at us in the short span of time, and Tony kind of he alluded to it where he's like, oh, it's going to change. You know, we got a lot of shit planned. Like just enjoy the ride. So like it's really cool to see how like they still like nobody was over it. Nobody was done with it. You know, they were ready to fucking like, okay, cool. We got Adam Cole now, sweet. Bring on Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan's here, sweet. Like what's next, man? Like, you know.
Yeah, and for the people out there, you know, the naysayers, if you're not excited about the things going on, or you're bitter because you're a WWE loyalist who sucks on the teat of Vince McMahon's old crusty nipples, and you're mad because some of his people left and they're going to another company, dude, you're just missing out. Like you're just missing out. I feel bad for you that you can't enjoy this. Like all I can say is go watch Raw, dude. Enjoy
it, man.
Enjoy that bullshit show.
If that's what you want to watch, if that's what you're into, do it. I mean, you're really missing out. It's sad.
And eventually when you do come around and everyone is watching this, which it's on that path, then you will have missed out on all this cool stuff and you'll be jumping in late.
Yeah.
Jump in now, man.
Nobody wants to do that.
The water's
harder playing catch up.
But we're just AEW marks, you know. That's all.
No,
we're just.
Oh, let me stretch and show off my t-shirt. Oh, what just fell over here? My AEW badge. So sorry.
Sorry about that.
Oh, here, Cody, hold on to that AEW badge.
Here, I'm gonna move my keys over here real quick. Hold on.
Let me open a beer with my Lucha Brothers bottle opener. Yeah, dude, it was a special weekend. I mean,
gotta get this out of the way. Hold on, just put it over here in my bag. This is becoming like Wayne's World right now.
Let me just show my Don Callis t-shirt. Oh man.
Only a Mark would wear a goddamn Don Callis t-shirt, brother.
So these guys all in poster up.
Hold on, my computer. We're good.
Okay.
Shit happens, right?
Yeah.
Just a mark, though. Just a mark.
I agree with Mama Bellcaster. We are influencers,
not marks. Absolutely.
We're spreading the gospel.
Yep. Yeah. 100%.
She knows what's up.
Where would you guys put? Where would you guys put this event in terms of just importance within AEW in its first? What, they started January of 2019. We're a little over 2.5 years into this thing. What level of importance did this event have?
I feel like this event. So I feel like AEW, up until this point, it's like in any type of like fighting game when you're building up, and then you can press a combo and have a super punch. You know, like you've built up. I feel like everything they've done has been important, and it led up to this, and they just super punched everybody in the face.
Oh yeah.
And then the level of importance for this event, huge.
Yeah,
huge. It's probably one of the most important things that's happened in the company.
I'm not even going to say AEW history. I think in pro wrestling history, this was one of the biggest nights ever. Even in the last 20 years. So I know on the media scrum, somebody was asking Punk, like,
I know where you're going with this.
What do you think was a bigger moment? Was it the NWO or this? And Punk's like, this,
Yeah,
not toot my own horn. Yeah, and
he
he's
was like, I'm
and
not Hogan. I'm not Hogan, and Brian and Cole aren't
Yeah.
the outsiders. He was like, and I'm going to catch heat from the boys for this, but this was bigger than that. And I agree,
we've been
man.
saying it for a while, man, that this is the AEW's kind of been in the direction since they teased Punk. They've been working towards that for a while, and it's been building up. But like
it's been a thing ever since. So Tony Khan came out and said there's going to be a shift in power in professional wrestling,
and people shit on him for that, but he knew, he saw the
and this past month, it's come to fruition.
Yeah,
this is why I agree with Punk when he said this was bigger than Hall and Nash and Hogan coming. You hear that statement, and I think a lot of people will say that's recency bias. It happened now, and you're forgetting the importance of that time. But if you really look at that time when that happened, we had two major choices in national wrestling. We had WCW and we had WWE. Yeah, they were in a war, they were battling, but there were choices already. This is a move that is, for 20 years, it was a monopoly. We didn't have those mainstream big choices. We just had WWE. And now there's a company, and a move like this, to me, AEW's been around 2.5 years, and they've made moves where we as diehard fans, we've been like, yes, they're doing things. But this type of move is something that says on the national mainstream basis, like, these guys are fucking legit. Things are serious. Yeah. We're going after major names. Major players want to come here who aren't just disgruntled with WWE. We've had those disgruntled people like Mox leave, Hardy, who were unhappy there, but now you're getting guys who are happy there that are leaving. Yeah. That's even bigger. The fact that Daniel Bryan has family, John Laurinaitis is his father-in-law. He's the guy who signs wrestlers. The guy who came to him to get him to re-sign to WWE is his wife's mother's husband. So it's like, that guy, the fact that he has family that works in WWE, he's been there for over a decade, and he still chose to leave. This to me is a title shift in wrestling. Now anyone is possible to join. 100%. Anyone. Like, people could, Roman Reigns would never leave. How do you know that?
Yeah.
Like, how do you know that?
Daniel Bryan said it best in his speech. He was sitting there in the ring, and he was like, I loved my job. I loved the place I worked for. I loved the people I worked for, but I still came here. Like that spoke volume, man.
He said, and what he said was, and I still left.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. And he was happy. It was the look of, like, you could see it with Punk, you could see it with everybody. They're all vibing right now. They're having a great time. Yeah.
Yep.
And even Punk put out the tweet. He retweeted this poop ain't fun no more. And then he's like, this shit is fun again, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And dude, like, people, you get the WWE loyalists that are, anytime someone leaves, they try to discredit that person. Well, this and that, and well, this and it's like, dude, at a certain point, when are you just going to eat crow? Person after person after person is leaving, and they're not all just bitter Bettys. Some people didn't like how it went down. Some people loved it there, and they're all starting to dip out. Like, at that point, you've got to be like, okay, well, maybe the way WWE are doing things, the boys in the back don't like it anymore, and that's bad. Like, the way they're shifting. Foley comes out today.
Yeah, Foley today was that was very, he was just like, if this was, when I was younger, he's like, I don't think I would be, signing with WWE at this point. He's like, I really think that I'd be going over.
Yeah, he said, you guys did a lot for me back in the day, but that's not the way it is anymore.
Dude, the thing he said that probably over anything I've heard is such a dagger to the way WWE does business right now. And it's such a, like, sobering prospect that a lot of fans need to wake up to, and a lot of wrestlers and everything, is like when he said WWE is no longer the place that young wrestlers aspire to be.
Yeah.
They're worried. They look at that place and they're worried, like, well, what's going to happen to me there? They're
Yeah.
not going to listen to me. Am I
He
going to?
specifically brought up Karrion Kross.
Yep.
And he was like, you know, if I'm a superstar in the independent scene, I'm really going to be thinking about whether I'm going to WWE or not.
Right.
Percent.
Right. I mean, dude, it's when you get, you know, Hawk went with us and Cassie went with us, my girlfriend, and
Phoenix
Hawk's
Enix.
watched, Phoenix Enix, and Hawk's watched since May of 2020. He's been watching Dynamite with us and watching all the pay-per-views. And he was a fan way back in the day, but he stopped watching wrestling. So he's new, and Cassie's seen stuff peripherally through me watching. And they even were blown the fuck away. This isn't us three on this screen, diehard marks.
Yeah.
This was felt by people that aren't even this weekend, like, is a fan making weekend. Like, if you went there as a casual, or you went there as a significant other to a fan, and you experienced that weekend, they made new fans this weekend.
For sure.
100%.
They made lifelong fans.
Even in our Pod Foundation group chat. Like,
Yeah.
you know, they turned really quick about, like, Punk was great. That holy shit. I was watching Sheena's stories on Instagram, and like the Adam Cole thing, she's like, get the fuck out of here. You know, like, she's just like, really, I love seeing that spark hit anybody. And like, especially with fans, you know, like, if you're a WWE diehard, that's cool. Like you guys said earlier, like, go and watch it, you know, but like, you've seen that switch flip for her like that.
Oh yeah.
And then she's like, Daniel Bryan too, what the fuck, you know, and like, everybody's just, dude, that was everybody's mind.
I saw so many people, other podcasts, other fans that are in our social media, whether it's Twitter or Instagram, scanning through that after the event. I saw so many people waving that white flag saying, like, okay, AEW is better than WWE right now. I admit it. And these were people that were
I don't know what you're talking about. No.
Dude, it was mind-blowing, the shit that they pulled off. Like, Adam Cole was on NXT in a main event match against Kyle O'Reilly. It was the rubber match of their trilogy a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
And then Daniel Bryan's last match was main eventing WrestleMania in a triple threat. And now they both show up on AEW All Out.
Insane, man.
And what's crazier, it isn't stopping there. You've got rumors of Kevin Owens now hitting. He's tweeting out oh, wow, expires in January. I didn't know. I thought it was 2023.
Yeah, so did I. But you seen that Mount Rushmore tweet that he deleted real quick?
Yeah, I saw that.
He put out the coordinates about Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore.
And so we've got Kevin Owens, chef's kiss. Mwah.
Yeah.
For anyone that doesn't know, he was in a group with Adam Cole
and the Young Bucks.
Before, and they were called Mount Rushmore. Yeah.
And so we've got Kevin Owens. And people are forgetting, and I know I've heard some people say, oh, he's Impact bound. I don't buy it. Bray Wyatt's still lurking in the shadows.
Yeah.
I don't buy this Impact shit. I know people are saying that.
90 days aren't up until the end of October. Yeah.
I think
that he's not somebody that's to be taken. You wouldn't let him go to Impact if you're the Tony Khan of the industry. Yeah.
I just want to say that the best comment on this, I don't know if you guys can see it.
Kev knows where the beef drips.
Virgil says Kev knows where the beef drips.
It's true, man.
I love her. If you're not following Virgil on social media, you're kind of missing out. He has some real zingers in there, man.
So I guess, we got 10 minutes before we go on off into our daily lives, before we get off the stream. What is next for these guys that debuted? Ruby, Adam, Brian,
Mike Bellcaster.
Next? Mike Bellcaster and Ric Flair. Like, what's next for these guys?
Yeah, no, it's I feel like they need a minute to simmer after this weekend and kind of hold off until the end of October. We need 2 months to breathe. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
let
really.
the new stories start.
Yeah, and you got to kind of build up this laughs we just had. We all have to recover from it. You can't throw 3 strikes and then not have a new batter come out, right away. You gotta ease off the crowd, do a nice 7th inning stretch. Everybody's gonna get in the stories. I mean, it's already Wednesday tomorrow. We have Dynamite with 4 brand new people basically that we haven't seen.
Yeah.
It's gonna be absolutely wild, crazy shit.
I think we're going to the first match we see with Bryan Danielson is going to be, because he's had a singles match before, and I think they kind of teed it up at the pay-per-view. I think we're going to see Bryan Danielson against Nick Jackson.
Yeah,
I would love that.
That'd be awesome.
He had him in the corner doing the kicks. He did the running knee on him, And I think the first match we get for Adam Cole is going to be Jungle Boy, which would be,
love that.
Dude, perfect matchup.
Yep,
Perfect.
That was so much fun, man.
I love in Daniel Bryan's music that they put the Ring of Honor chant.
Yeah,
Kick your fucking face off.
Sneed told me, I didn't hear it, but Sneed told me about it.
You're gonna get your head kicked in.
Yeah.
You're gonna get your fucking head kicked in.
Love that.
Wait till the fans catch on to that phrase, man. Wait
Yeah.
till they catch on that phrase is, because you couldn't hear it in the crowd. You couldn't hear it at all. But once people, and Daniel Bryan said it in his scrum too.
Yeah.
He said that exact phrase in his scrum. So when fans catch on to that,
I loved what he said, because he was like, CM Punk's here to elevate the young talent and help everyone. He was like, I'm just here to kick their fucking faces in.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, like
Dude,
this is a WWE Daniel Bryan, man.
That was his scrum was one of the most entertaining parts of the night too.
Yes,
because I loved when he's like, if you show anybody great wrestling, they're gonna like it. Like you show
because great wrestling is fucking awesome.
Yeah, and he's right, man. Look at where we are. Like, it's cool.
Yeah.
And
Can
that,
you imagine, oh my god, my brain is like melting with the possibilities of Bryan Danielson, Kenny Omega, Adam Cole, Kenny Omega, Darby Allin, so many.
Darby and Bryan Danielson would be such a fucking amazing match. Look how well him and Punk did good. They killed it. And it's just amazing, man.
Give me Bryan Danielson and CM Punk against the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before we leave, I want to play a little clip of something that Bryan Danielson said to the crowd after the pay-per-view went off.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
Goosebumps. Hair is raised off.
I said it that night, man. I loved Punk's return speech. Bryan Danielson's speech was just as good, if not better.
Yeah.
I mean, they were like right there.
Yeah, and I feel both of them came out with different kind of heat. You know what I mean? Like Punk was just embracing the moment of I'm finally back.
Right.
Daniel Bryan went in there and as he said, I'm here to fucking kick heads.
Oh yeah.
That was the difference between those two. And I think Bryan's really I don't think we're gonna have to wait long for Bryan's next match. I think it's gonna happen within a week or two. You know, I think he's coming on strong, and he's just gonna start fucking getting crazy.
He's ready to wrestle, man.
Yeah,
And it looks like he's bringing an intensity,
yeah.
dude. Like, I can't wait.
Can't wait, man.
What a weekend! What a
Yeah.
weekend!
And the best part of it is I got to meet you guys.
I know, man. Yeah, the
Well,
tavern.
Everything that happened, like
We didn't even get to go see our billboard.
Oh, no.
no.
We were so busy and so like in this moment. We were just like, "Fuck, man!" And like, it was great.
We were riding
I
a
wouldn't
high,
change a
man.
minute of it. Yeah.
My face was hurting the whole way home just from laughing so much all weekend.
It
It was a great
good.
weekend.
Hell yeah, man.
Well, hell, man. Hopefully, we'll have many more of these to do from attending many more awesome events. So
Yeah. That's the future's looking bright for everybody, especially the tavern. Damn it!
We just gotta find the right hotel.
Yeah.
yeah.
Leave
that's
it up to me.
Yeah, find it.
Yeah.
Find the hotel.
So his first match on Dynamite is tomorrow. So
Jamie Hayter.
okay, wow, that should be a good match, man.
It's gonna be a
Excited
big
for
match.
it.
Saw her
Oh,
walk
yeah.
in the hotel. That was the last person that we saw that. Over
Yeah,
the weekend.
Ruby.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Super
Yep.
sweet.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for watching, J Bone.
Good shit, pal.
Well,
All right.
I
Well,
guess that's
yeah.
the night.
this is time to wrap it up. We'll probably sit here and talk for another 2 hours about this.
We easily.
Yeah.
But tune in to us on Thursday. You'll hear a lot more talk about it. We'll do an in-depth Dynamite review on the Turnbuckle Tavern. It'll come out Thursday morning. And then tune in on Thursday night for Fig Night with me and Mike and the Staple.
Yeah.
He's not in here anymore, but
Do we have the guest? Should we break that or wait?
I want to get another confirmation before we break it.
Okay. But there could be a big guest for Thursday, 8 p.m. Fig Night. And then tomorrow, immediately after Dynamite, while we're recording the podcast, Mike and I'm guessing the Staple, the revolving
I hope
door.
so.
Yeah.
I can't even do any impressions right now. My throat is so full.
We'll have Dynamite Discourse. So
Yeah. Looking forward to it. It's gonna be a good time as always, man.
Lodi's wrestling in our town this weekend.
Oh, we got to get him on the pod, man.
Lodi's
Love
wrestling.
Lodi.
In our town. Yep.
Anthony's finally here and we're finally leaving. Sorry, dude.
Later, man. No.
Good night, Mama Bellcaster. Thanks for all the
Yes.
love. We appreciate. I love
Always.
that she's in here.
Y'all
Yeah,
love it.
every night,
I'm
man.
awesome.
She's ready to roll.
Anthony, we did talk about that. We're about to end, but go back and watch it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So good night, guys. It was a blast. What a weekend. Got to finally
Hell
meet
yeah.
Mike. That was awesome. Thanks
a fucking
again to
gem,
Mama
man.
Bellcaster for hooking it up with the boat.
Thanks
Um,
again to Hawk for being a mark and giving us an MJF moment. No,
Ye-
no.
Oh yeah, the fact that he got just completely played by MJF was
Dude.
a
Watching him,
monumental
one
moment.
of the best things that I ever got to watch firsthand was
weekend,
watching him stand up and be a mark. Yep, because he'd
Great.
never call himself a mark, but he
Yeah.
stood up that night.
He's a total mark.
He stood up ready for a conversation.
He
and a
stood
picture.
up for a conversation and a picture. He's a fucking
He
mark.
was ready. He was ready for a conversation, ready for a picture.
Hell yeah.
Love it.
Happen.
Oh,
All
look
right,
at the-
fellas.
There we go. Got a kitty in the pic. All right, guys. Have a good one.
Have a great night. Yeah.
Peace.